week though, because if we don't kill it when we leave, then it's a week.
Well, it's not a leak. It's just a thread that's not doing anything. It's using system resources. That's not a. I mean, I guess
I've read it to be called
a leak. Okay.
An article written by somebody who works at Firebase describing the best practices.
Okay. Well, so I guess the issue would be this: if we log in as a normal user again. Actually, I guess from a normal user's perspective, there's not a whole lot of a change that we would do here.
Well, yeah. I mean, right now it doesn't matter because we don't go anywhere else. But...
we're going to probably have an add thing and then do the whole payment and add something pending here. So we'll probably do that next, but let's go back and handle let's go into pending, not pending, provider rather. All right. So provider, we have, if I click on any of these things, it should probably take us to a screen that shows us the information about that, so we can decide if we're interested in it. Yeah, so I mean, the issue here is, Jake, is there's no back from this.
Well, yeah, I'm saying once you go to, it's not when you hit back. Yeah, I don't think it would matter because the logout would technically send you back, right?
Well, we don't have a situation in our app right now where we want those observers to disappear.
Down the road, because if you do click on one of those, and then it's going to go to a next view controller, and then that one would come back to this table view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're on the next one where it shows the details. It's technically still listening for the changes on that past view controller.
Well, yeah, we want it to.
Well, kind of do. That's just the wasteful way to do it.
Well, I don't know if that's true. If we make a change here on our on the next controller, we don't then have to communicate that back to the previous guy and tell him to reload his table. It'll happen automatically.
Correct, but the way that I described it will also do that without wasting the thread, is I guess what I'm saying.
So you're saying that if I leave this page...
View will appear, when you go back to that, view will appear, will get called again. It's going to pull everything down. It'll reload the table if there was a change made on the other thing. And then...
So what you want to do... Let me just make sure I understand what you're indicating is best practice. You're indicating best practice is when view will disappear, we relinquish the observers. When view will appear, we reestablish the observers. So that when we're not on the screen, it's not observing. Okay. I mean, I there's nothing wrong with that. I guess in my
this second right now, it's not.
Yeah, in my mind, we want it to be observing when we're not on the screen because we might make changes off the screen that should impact the screen. And we might as well let it observe those changes. But I get what you're saying. It might be one of these things where we have to look at what's the cost of setting up an observer and tearing down an observer versus just leaving the observer running.
Yeah, because there's a cost associated with that as well.
But I think certainly what you'd want to do is, let's see, where's the, so view will unload. So you can do this if you wanted to not orphan any observer things. You could have inside of view will unload when the app closes, so you don't have the thread listening in the background. You could get rid of those guys. But actually, we don't even have pointers to them. They're both local. They're all local. So we don't even have that ability in ours. So for now, I think we should just be inefficient.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think we really need to do that now.
All right. So we probably want this to happen. If I am a provider and I see these pending requests, I should be able to click on one of these. It takes us to kind of a detail screen that shows us the information about a request. And then we can, if we accept it, let's let's see, how will that work? We would make a change to it. Okay, yeah, I think that's the way it would work. So we're gonna, when we click on one of these guys from provider, it's gonna take us to a screen that knows how to show the details about a service request. And probably the options we have on there are gonna depend on what our role is. Because I think it's reasonable for us to have a single screen that shows service requests rather than 3 screens that show service requests. Although that might take longer to develop, to be honest. Where right now we have a pretty good cadence going of, you know, just creating more view controllers even though they're very identical to each other. It's kind of rapid application development. Maybe we should just keep going with that. So we'll build this specifically for a provider. So I'll create a view controller out here. Look like this. And we're going to call this guy Provider Service Detail VC. New file, Cocoa Touch class. He's going to be a normal UI view controller. Provider Service Detail VC. I meant this to be service. Okay. Let's connect it up to that view controller right here. That's this guy. We'll also give him a storyboard ID for that so we can build him programmatically when we need to come to this place. And then we're going to give it information for this this guy. So a service request, let me just look back here, the quickest way to find it, has a, whether it's completed, cost. Now I don't think we need to see, well, we'll show everything for right now. So completed, cost, instructions. So let's just start throwing some labels and stuff out here. So this is completed. Let's give a random value for it now. Cost. Instructions we probably want to have as a table view, a text view rather. So instructions. Name, size, type. I don't think we need to see the provider or the user on there. So the name will be up here at the top.
You want the user information on there?
Well, potentially we don't have user information right now.
Don't we have user profile?
But there's nothing in it. We don't have any way of setting it at this point.
Oh.
I mean, the short answer is probably. But right now we don't. I mean, I think we should get it caught up, and then we can look at how do we set that stuff. Because right now a user doesn't know how to manage their profile.
Not on the app.
Right. All right. So this will be name, completed, cost, instructions. Size and type. Alright, so we'll just have those guys there like that. And until we come up with a better way of doing this, let's just have these guys be like name, name value, type, type value. And then let's get these guys organized. Alright, and actually realistically what we could do is we could probably have the name be part of the toolbar. So let's do that. And then we'll give this guy a back button. Good enough for right now. Actually, let's just say back. We can decide if we want it to be something else later. And this is going to be an animated back button. Alright, so let's give ourselves the values for these guys to connect. So we're going to need this nav bar so we can set the title. There's our nav bar. Here's the type value label. This is the completed value label. Completed. This is the wrong button. Cost value button or label. What the heck? Size value label. And then instructions text view. Alright, so that's those guys, and then let's go ahead and organize these. So I'm going to embed these guys inside of a horizontal stack view. And we'll give it some put a colon in there. We'll embed these in a horizontal stack view. Spacing 5. We'll embed these in a horizontal stack view. Spacing 5. We'll embed these. Horizontal stack view. Spacing 5. Alright, and then we're going to embed these in a vertical stack view. That. And then we'll embed all of these inside of a vertical stack view, like that, and we'll add a little space between all of them. And then we'll then let's go ahead and let this guy become the full width of the screen. It's actually interesting. That. Let's try to do the width of the screen again. There we go. And then we can take all of our internal stacks and we can have those guys stretch out. Then we'll have each of those guys fill equally. And then we'll have those guys be right justified. Well, let's call that good enough. I have no idea why that guy is so tall. I have no idea why he is so short. I'd embed that. Almost to the edges. Okay. Let's call that good enough. And we'll go ahead and update constraints, and we'll add missing constraints. That guy should be happier, so let's go ahead and have this screen show up whenever we click on one of the things from our provider screen. So this guy has a storyboard name of this. So we'll go into provider service list, and we'll go down to, well, we need to write it, I guess. Did select row and index path. All right, so that means they have selected a particular service from one of the index paths. So we will go ahead and ask the question. So let's do let data equal pending, incomplete, completed. At bucket index path dot section at row index path dot row, and we'll call this guy service. All right, so that's going to be a particular service, and we're going to send that service into the next guy. So we'll say let vc equals self.storyboard dot instantiate view controller with identifier. Here's the name of the guy we're going to instantiate as one of those dudes, and we will go ahead and teach that guy about his service type. So var service service request. Actually, let's call it REQ for request. That's what we've been using. So go back over here. We'll call this guy REQ. We'll say vc.req is equal to REQ. Then self.present view controller vc animated true, nothing on completion. All right, but to your point, Jake, what you could do is when you leave this page, you could give up those right in here. Upon completion, you could give up the observers and then add them back in. So that's probably where you would do it. Okay, so that should take us to that other screen. Let's make sure that's the case. All right, so if I click on this guy, it should at least take us to that other screen. I'm not filling in the information yet, but it takes us there, and if I hit back, it gets rid of it. All right, so now we are setting the information, so now let's go ahead and fill in the stuff inside of this detail screen. So when we're here, we know our request has been sent from the previous guy. So we'll go ahead and say instructions text view dot text is equal to req dot instructions. Size value label dot text is equal to req dot size. Cost value label dot text is equal to req dot cost as an int, so it's not going to be happy about that. That'll turn it into a string. Actually, I think we can, pretty sure Swift has updated it so you can do this now. I think it's okay with that. That used to not work. Oh, does it still not work? Yeah, see? That's just dumb. They updated something with that though, so you can actually do at least part of it now.
Yeah. I mean, the one time where I was in the segmentation call, that was because I didn't really type cascade correctly.
I gotcha.
But if you do a lot of those, then it just says it's too complex to like figure out, and that's when the colors you can all weird on that syntax.
then for the name, we'll do navbar.topitem.title is equal to request.name. Alright, so that should effectively fill in the information for whatever request you selected. We'll do that in viewDidLoad. Okay. Now, if I am a provider and these are pending requests, so if the current request is pending, I should show a button that says select or something like that, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We'll put a couple of buttons on the screen and we'll hide them and then show the appropriate one. So I'll throw, so here's a button. And I'm going to change this guy to this. And let's see, so what should it be? Select, if they are selecting the service. Claim, maybe claim. Okay. And then if we are completing a service, that's complete. Those are the only two things a provider could do right now, right? They could either claim a service that's not currently assigned to anybody, or they can complete a service that was assigned to them. So we'll go ahead and let's give ourselves access to these buttons programmatically. This is the claim button. And this is the complete button. All right. And then let's give ourselves IB actions for these guys as well. So this is claim button pressed. And this is complete. Button pressed. And we'll do whatever it means for those things. In viewDidLoad, we'll start off by having claim button dot hidden is equal to true, complete button dot hidden is also equal to true, and then depending, well, actually I'll just copy both of these right here. Let's just ask the question, if request dot provider is equal to n/a, if that's a true statement, then we're going to show the claim button, hide the complete button. Else, it must be ours. So we'll hide the claim button, show the complete button. So let's go ahead and embed these guys in a stack view. And then let's go ahead and glue our two stack views together. So we'll embed them in a stack view. And then we'll go ahead and make our inner stack view there. Actually, let's almost to the edges. All right. And we don't need any spaces there because one of these guys is going to actually be gone. So let's make sure the right buttons are showing up now. All right, so here's a pending one, so I should see the claim button show up for this one, clearly. Did I do it backwards? So if I go back and I look at an incomplete one, yeah, I have them backwards. Oh, yeah, I do have it backwards. Okay. Now we do want to have a, because right now this guy's not sucking back to the top. Let's just see real quick where claim ends up, because complete was floating down below. Claims down below. Oh, because it's not below. This guy just doesn't have text in it. I don't think he gets a placeholder. Yeah, so what we should do is, yeah, if there's no special instructions, let's hide the special instructions. So if request.instructions dot characters dot count is equal to 0. Is there not text? Oh, that's a string. I was thinking of it like it was a text view. So if the instructions are empty, then we'll go ahead and have the instruction, and we need access to the instruction label as well. Instructions label will be a UI label. This. Build real quick. So we'll say instructions label dot hidden is equal to true. Instructions text view dot hidden is equal to true. That's what we'll do if there are no instructions. Else, we'll go ahead and set the instructions. And then we need to make sure we set up that instruction label outlet. This guy, connect him to there. So pending should say claim. Where's this? This is in provider service detail. Stuff had already loaded. This is where we're setting it right here. Okay, for the guys of actual service. Here's provider. It is NA. Why would it be? Why would that be nil? You have to move it into view did load, or view did appear.
Well, where's request that provider at?
Well, the request is nil. That's the problem.
Where are you setting it though?
Well, I should be setting it back here in provider. If I run this again, you'll see it has a value. So here's my stop. This is inside of our service list. So I'm setting it to request. Here's request right here, and here's provider n/a. We're setting it equal to vc.request, which is our instance of service provider. So that guy's getting set. Then we are, so if I click on VC, VC has a request. It's currently equal to nil. Is it because that guy doesn't exist yet? This should be set at that point. And if we take all this,
So what's the difference between passing it and just storing it in the singleton?
well, singletons get messy if you do that. So let's do view will appear. Just put that same code in there and see if it has a value then. On one hand, you could say that's a race condition, but it shouldn't be a. Yeah. That's interesting.
What is it? Is it because it's loading before it gets set?
Well, based on our breakpoints, it wasn't. Based on our breakpoints, we were hitting the set the thing, the variable for it before load, but
Well, was it loading in the background before it?
it seems like that was a race condition. Because now we're able to come up. So claim shows up. If I pick one of those,
Probably preloads it and then it just tells it up here.
seems like it. Okay. So the right stuff is popping up. So now what we need to do is we need to let me think here. If we claim this guy, that means we're setting the object to we're setting the provider to us, right? Okay, so let's do that. So that's if the claim button. Let's detail. Here's the claim button. So what we want to do is we have the request. We're going to go ahead and set the provider to us. Then save that to Firebase. Let Firebase let our table view know about the update, and it should then update on its own, right? So we're going to go ahead and say req.provider. Actually, let's go. Should we confirm that they want to do this? Give them a little alert, making sure they accept it. So let's do UI alert view. Is that alert controller? Yeah, alert controller. So that's not how you write this. Let VC equal UI alert controller title. Claim confirmation. Are you sure you want to claim this service request? And then style, let's do this as, I guess an alert makes the most sense, as opposed to an action sheet. Action sheets slide up from the bottom. I give you some options, alerts pop up in the middle. So we'll do this as an alert. And then we'll let cancel action equal UI alert. Oh, UI action. There we go. Alert action. So we'll say cancel. Style will be dot cancel. And then no handler. Let confirm action equal UI alert action. Title confirm style default handler. And this is where we'll go ahead and set request.provider is equal to core.firebase.authData.uid.
We have to go in and
Now we're going to, well, we actually have to save it to Firebase now. Let's see, what are these guys? Oh, that's just complaining about, we haven't actually used those yet. Let's just use those real quick. Add action, cancel action, VC add action, confirm action. Those guys should be happier now. Oh. We're in a closure, so we definitely need to use self. Alright, so we'll set that, and now we need to go ahead and we're going to say let ref equal core.firebaseref.child by appending path, and this is service request, service underscore requests with an S. Service underscore requests, and then dot child by appending path self.req.key. Right? That's the key of the guy. Alright, so now we need to teach our service requests how to convert themselves into dictionaries. Because it's actually an NS dictionary we save. Here, so we'll go up to service request.
can you just say
No, because provider is a service request object.
Provider's a string.
Well, no, I'm doing that already.
No, but you can just update since you already have you can update.
But I'm not updating a snapshot.
No, I know. You can update, if you go in, you can update just the value of that provider. You don't have to update the entire thing.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You can just say .update.
So I can do this. So it saves us a little time right now, at least. So now I can say ref.update. So that was the
Child values.
oh, so I give it basically a dictionary with one element in it.
Yeah.
All right, and the values will be.
That should be.
This should be provider, and this guy should be self.request.provider. Okay, well, let's see if that does the trick. And then we'll go ahead and say self.dismiss view controller animated yes with no completion. And ultimately we need to do self.present view controller VC animated true no completion. So this is our alert. We'll add a couple of actions to that. The cancel action does nothing. The confirm action does this update stuff and then it dismisses the screen, taking us back to our table view, which should have received from Firebase the updated information about the provider and shifted that guy accordingly. All right. So we'll go ahead and say claim this guy. It's going to pop up. We'll hit cancel just to test it. Let's claim it again. Make sure you want to claim the service request. Confirm. And it moved. It's now in my incomplete category. All right. So, good call. What I was going to do was going to teach our service provider, not our service provider, our service request how to export, how to turn themselves into an NS dictionary, and then save the entire object. Okay, and then similarly, if we click on incomplete, we need to be able to complete stuff. So we're gonna do a pretty similar thing here. So let's just steal this code as a starting point. So this is complete confirmation. Make sure you want to complete this service request. Okay, and we're going to update completed. Let's see, this is equal to true. All right, that should be it. So here's an incomplete guy. We'll complete it. Cancel first. You sure? Are you sure you want to complete this service request? Confirm. It's now moved down to complete. All right. So, provider seems to be able to do what he should be able to do, right? Sound look legit enough. Okay, so next, let's see. So a normal user needs to be able to make requests, which means that we need to teach it to talk to our node server, because it's ultimately the node server that adds the new.
Well, I mean, it kind of depends on how Stripe does their processing through iOS.
Well, does it though? Let's look at our node server here. Here's our app. The app has our checkout. Here's our Stripe key. Oh, all right. Big money, Stripe, iOS, checkout. Hopefully there's a really nice little Stripe library that we just include.
You have to use
Oh, you could do it through Fabric too.
through what?
Fabric is I think it's from Twitter, isn't it? Yeah, I think Fabric is like a API that does a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that's kind of built into it. Let's view their guide. Oh, we can accept Apple Pay.
Yeah, because on my Android side, it goes through Google Store.
Okay. Oh, well, so things are looking good so far. So let's get our pod file. Throw Stripe in there. And we'll go ahead and build that while we're waiting.
Use Apple, you just need the merchant ID.
Update. Actually, we should go past 10. Don't we have another class we missed we have to make up for?
You sure you want to go past 10?
I've been programming all day. I'm good to go. I programmed for 5 straight hours before this class. And then my wife told me I had to eat before. She also told me I had to put clothes on, but we've already covered that part. So I refuse to put socks on, though. Yeah. I don't have class until tomorrow at 11. I'm good to go. Keep trucking. All right, so we have that. What's up?
You gotta go home and take your
I have to wait till she actually tells me that they're complete. They're ready. Here we can. I don't know. Let's find out. So we'll check. All right. All right. So we have Stripe installed, blah, 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 configuring our API keys. All right. So we'll go ahead and set that and then go look up what our key is real quick.
Isn't that your key?
Is it? Is this remembering that I'm logged in? Oh, it probably is. Good call. Actually, it says PK test, but
That's a test key for your
all
account.
right, perfect. Even better. There's that. Import Stripe. What happened? Bad things
We
happen?
don't have to censor ourselves as much anymore.
Oh, is the room empty now? I wasn't censoring.
I know you don't work.
So maybe we scared them off. They're on their way to campus safety as we speak.
When you asked about if we wanted to end class earlier, I was gonna say I like to finish early, but I figured I should probably censor myself.
Well, now that's recorded.
Yeah.
So good. All right, so that guy built. Use our pre-built form component. Card text, blah blah, to collect new payment card text field. All right. Payment to view controller. Which is kind of a dumb way to.
No way to do what?
Oh, because it's a specific size. I get it. They did the whole pop-up thing like before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we just need to create a payment view controller class.
Oh, is that what they did? Is that a pop-up?
Yeah, so they have their own thing, payment view controller. That is a normal UI view controller that happens to follow this protocol.
Yeah.
And it looks like this protocol probably just requires this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we set ourselves as the delegate, which I'm guessing is to set this card text field. So this should be pretty easy. Should be pretty easy. So we'll go ahead, and that is just on the user side, right, for payments? Well, collecting information at least. So we'll do a new file. This guy's going to be a UI view controller, and we'll call this guy payment collection VC. Like that. And then this guy is going to be this dude. Oh, actually, let's just do this. Like that. We need to import Stripe. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. The line is through it for, I can't even give you a good reason, but it'll compile fine. Okay, so then we need to build a let constant, which actually seems weird. Oh, that's an instance of that card text field. I get it. And then for view did load, they want us to do this crap. View will appear, or view did load. View did load. Okay, fine. And that's the fixed size, so I'm assuming they want us to use it as like a popover. Okay, and this is the listener for our text field in there.
we use Apple Pay, would we need to send it to our server, or would it just all go on theirs?
It would go through Apple Pay. Apple directly. Token. Well, that's for Apple Pay.
There's the save thing. And then sending it to our server. Those two are for STP card brands.
Let's see.
Because that's what we're using, correct? It's like 3/4 of the way down the screen.
Well, no, we need to get it showing up first.
Oh, it didn't
All
show
right.
up.
Well, I haven't even started doing that yet. I've just created the class. All right, so here is our class. Oh, I don't even think we need a here. Let's go ahead and build the startup for this with our user page. I think we actually aren't going to need a good chunk of this stuff. So actually for right now, I'm going to delete this file. And what we're going to do is here is our user service. And we want to be able to create a new service, which is going to require us to check out, right? So that's going to be a view controller. All right, and this is going to be a new service request. I'm going to actually move this button over there for logging out.
Do not have a bad one.
I wonder why we didn't make all those over there for logging out. And then what we'll do is we'll add a, just say new. Actually, we can do add. And then Emo's favorite. Magically take us to that page. No coding necessary. All right. So now this guy's going to be user new service request. So we'll put that under user new file. This will be a UI view controller. New service request. All right, and it's going to be this dude. That is our st blah blah dealio. Import stripe. There's that. And this guy will have one of those. And then view did load. Well, we'll do it on view did load right now, but we'll move that code out shortly. So this should create our, let's just see it work up to this point without any of the extra listeners. We'll log in as a user, and we should get this little box pop up over the screen. This. Very underwhelming. So view did load. This should be in here. All right, so that guy shouldn't be required. Payment text field frame. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this inside of this save button. And then out here, I'll just put the save button up here for a moment. Oh, that's a pretty good reason why that thing wasn't popping up. This guy is called a user new service request class. All right. And he has a save button. And he's also going to have a cancel button. That. So let's just see the thing popping up now. Oh, nice. Almost there. Okay. Let's fix the layout of this. Constraints. And then let's update X is 15, Y is 200. I should put it farther down the screen. Let's see what it looks like. right, so that just gets a credit card.
What if you start typing it in now?
Oh. Okay, fair enough. All right, so that makes sense how that guy gets added. Oh, this will actually be, I think this will be fun. All right, so we need to capture what the type, and then the
You have the website up, don't you?
yeah, type, number of cars. You guys tired?
Yeah, it's 9:30. Close to my bedtime.
Really?
Can't stay up all night like you.
Let's see. So we toggle between snow removal and lawn mowing. We're still going to do size. It's going to be based on the number of cars and then any special instructions. Okay, so let's build this form. Start off, it'll maybe look a little ghetto. Snow, lawn. Do you think that segmented control looks crappy? Well, I've just always thought that that guy looks kind of just weird. All right.
This guy.
This.
Oh, those things look good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Especially in like forms.
All right. And then this guy needs to be. So we have size. Well, we can actually do this. Number of cars. And then, so we pick the service type. Oh, and then also special instructions.
And they added that though.
Yeah, the instructions they can.
Well, no,
Yeah, this is the label for that box.
I didn't know that box. What kind of box is that? Just a
Text, it's a text view. So let's see, can I give it a,
I didn't know they could edit text views.
here, I want to steal something from one of my other apps real quick. Oh, that wasn't quite what I wanted it to do. So that doesn't really help me. I want to put like a border around this guy. Ah, easy enough. Embed in view, and we will make that view have a black background. Boom. Like that, old Alex?
In the view did load, you just set the text, dot layer, dot border width, what you want. And then you can change the color of it.
Well, doesn't this look fine?
Basically the same thing, yeah.
All right, so now these are special instructions. So let's go ahead and embed these guys in a stack view. Boom. Then let's make this guy the same width. Shouldn't make a difference. We'll make this guy the same width. And we'll sandwich these all together. So it's the type, number of cars, special instructions. And then probably a maybe a button that says make payment or something like that.
Wouldn't that be safe?
So you want this to be saved, and then it pops up the button.
Well, isn't that the same thing?
Well, this button's going to go away,
Oh,
or
yeah.
might be something else. I'm just thinking for this form, but we also want to have a total price as a label. Current price. Click that. We'll embed these guys. A stack view. Okay, so let's put all of these guys in a stack view. And then we can make this guy. So let's do center. Make this spread to the edges. Actually, let's go inset 5. Make this inset 5. Okay. That looks okay. That looks okay. That looks okay. All right, so now, just to test this, I need this guy to actually be a outlet. This should be a pretty slick way of doing this, I think. We'll call this guy the main stack. Okay. Let's go back out here for testing. And we're going to move the main stack up to the top, wherever, like that. And let's go ahead and have him stretch almost all the way to the sides. Okay, so now I'll get rid of this button for right now. Let's add missing constraints. Sometimes when you try to add constraints before you update constraints, things go wonky. What don't you like? Whoa. Undo. Let's just do this. Reset to suggested constraints. Oh, we can't do that either. Let me clear constraints in here. Okay, I was fine with that. All right, let's just try my plan here before I break anything. So after this thing is loaded, when I hit save, I'm going to programmatically add to this stack the credit card thing. And stacks have a way of doing the auto layout after things have happened. So what I want to do is I want to have the credit card thing appear in the bottom of the stack, but still be framed by the stack. So let's see if we can make that happen. So we're not adding that as a subview. We're adding self.mainStack.add arranged subview payment text field. Then we'll comment that out. So this should, when we hit that save button, toss it on the bottom of that stack. Oh, that's very convenient. Okay. Yeah, and actually, if we want, oh, because when we did it, current price, oh no, it just shifted it up and squeezed the other thing.
Oh, it's because it kept the same constraints on the stack view.
Right. This isn't actually that big of a deal because what we can do is this guy has a height of 44.
You can just add 44 to the height of the stack view.
Well, what I'm actually going to do is we're going to have payment landing is going to be UI view that, and then we'll say payment landing, and that's just add subview payment text field. So that should be good there, and then we'll come out here and we'll disconnect that main stack guy. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a UI view out here. We'll set his height to 44. And we're going to add that guy. Well, let's just get him on the stack for right now. drop them to the bottom of the stack, take them to the edges. Okay. Well, I'll fix that here in a minute. This is payment landing. That's that guy. We'll move this down. All right, so let's remove all constraints. All right, there's that guy. All right. So now we can go ahead and reset to suggested constraints. Let's see what that looks like. That shouldn't smush it up because technically he's already there. Whoa. Oh, no, it's actually fine. No, I don't want it as part of the stack view. I'm adding it as a sub view to that guy that's already in there. But the issue is that his frame is 15,200. We're going to put it at 0, 0 because it's going to be 0, 0 relative to the upper left-hand corner of the view we just added him to. So the reason it was so far down on the screen is because it was offset by 200 of. So now, all right, so we just need to, does that guy have a, oh, he has a width. Yeah, we don't want the width of the frame, we want the payment landing width. Right, and I think we could take it right to the edges of that. We don't need to subtract 30 from it for the width. It should already match the height. So this should fit right there. Well, it's not clickable, but you know, cool. Wonder why.
Oh, it's because you're, it's because that field, you know.
It is clickable.
Is the self.payment landing frame clickable?
That it shouldn't matter. This guy's a sub view of it. And we can do self dot payment text field dot bring let's see. Looks so perfect. I wonder if it has to be wider in order for it to work. Let's just add the 50 into that. Or why he wouldn't be clickable anymore. Well, view isn't editable. Like this guy, it's like he's covered. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Bring subview to front. Let's actually make that guy become first responder. Let's see what happens. That should technically bring the keyboard up. Oh, I never added him. That's a subview. Oh, hold on. Hold on. All right. So this should add it. Yeah, see, that's interesting. So we can make it fit correctly here. So I can put stuff in there now, but I can't. Maybe that's actually good. It's not clickable because it's something else is on top of it. There's another layer that's blocking me. Probably something with auto layout, but I mean this works.
Yeah, but what happens when you go to special instructions and want to go back?
Well, you don't do that. Durr. Yeah, right back. I wonder what the scoop is with that.
Wait, how come it just did it?
I click save again. I mean, I suppose.
Well, what if you bring it to the front instead of become first responder?
Well, let's see.
There was a bring something to the front. And the view would be the payment land.
So I think it's this.
Add a touches began event that resigns first responder so that keyword goes away. Or you can add
Self.payment landing dot bring subview to front payment text field. Let's try that. See if he's now clickable. Very weird. So adding it as a view. Ooh, I actually have a good idea. I think I have a good idea.
You make it a text view and then do it that way?
No. I mean, oh, I actually get what you're saying. Maybe instead of a view, make it a label, actually. I think I've done that before. Let's try that. That might be the quickest way.
What's the difference between it being a label and then a text view? Because can you edit labels like that?
Well, the thing we're editing is the
Oh, yeah.
the credit card box thing. So I should be able to just put this guy. Actually, before I forget, let's go back here. This is a UI label. Let's hook it up. Okay. And we're going to give this guy a height of 44. And we're going to give it a width to the edges. And we're going to set the label to nothing. That. And we'll go ahead and clear constraints. Whoa! Death. Okay. And then we will go ahead add that as a subview. We'll add as a subview to the label. It's an apocalyptic nightmare. What did you do? All right. Let's see. All right, easy solution. Easy solution.
Why don't you just delete the label now and then just leave it extra 44 at the bottom and then just add it there?
Well, you're not gonna be able. You'd have to add it to the stack, and didn't we see that that didn't? See, I don't remember.
Can you programmatically alter the stack height?
Well, we shouldn't have to. The stack should update its height. I think this will do it. We need to go back to what we did before, where we were using a stack. We just have to have everything else maintain their heights. But actually, what I was thinking, what might even look better, anyways, is put the credit card in right at the top. So when we want to pay, it'll just shove we'll insert it there. It'll just shove everything else down. So the actual payment thing is across the top. I mean, is that better, anyways? And actually, with that in mind,
It kind of depends on do you want to do everything first and then put your credit card information in, which is normally how it goes.
let's see. This guy is a.
Or you could still do the pop-up, right, with just the payment information.
Here, I'm going to do this. What keeps us from doing this? I don't think anything keeps us from doing this. Actually, we'll just modify this guy. Instead of that, it's going to be our payment text field. This guy. And he's going to be one of these guys. We'll comment this out. No longer do that. So we're going to take a normal text field. So we're going to assume that that guy must be an instance of text field.
do this. That. And he's actually going to be one of those guys. Is Isn't this just a normal text field? Alright, well that plan's destroyed. Alright, so then the way to do this is this. We'll go back in here, pick this back to a let, take this out. Actually, we'll do main stack, UI stack view, like that. Let's go ahead and hook the stack back up. This guy, that guy. And then we'll tell our stack and then we'll stretch it to the sides. Okay. And missing constraints. Oh, same issue. Reset to suggest. Let's undo that. Bring that guy back. Okay, that's fine. So we want to get the width of that guy. So the way this will work, zoom tight. Alright, so this would be, oh no, I didn't. Frame. And then we'll say self.mainStack.add arrange subview payment text field. Let's just make sure this thing's at least clickable, and then what we can do is we can fix all the other heights so it won't compress. Alright, so he is clickable. And it seems like the only guy that squishes is the...
How do you change it so that they don't change their heights? Or they don't give? I remember we talked about that before.
Well, it'll be an auto layout thing, so we'll go in and we'll set this guy's height to be that height. But actually, something I was going to do here before that is I can... Let's just see if this solves the problem. Oh, that wouldn't let me do it based on the frame height though. Okay, so that's fine. So let's force this. So we're
going to say this guy has a fixed height of that. And let's just see if that makes the difference. Otherwise, it's not all that crucial at this point. Yeah, see, everything else pushes then. Whoa. So let's undo the fixed height thing. Alright, so now this guy should just squish the thing down a little bit for right now, and that at least puts us in a position where we're ready to actually process a payment. Alright, so next time we will make this guy actually process a payment. So then for your homework assignment, what's the current state of your mobile apps?
List view. You got the service request, shows the service request, and then we can add one, right?
Okay.
Table view, list view.
So you can do everything that ours does here for the different users.
But not add, but not like, yeah. Yes, for the user part.
The user, but for a provider, they can't select stuff. So bring your homework assignment up to date with that, and then also allow it to process a payment on Stripe. Sound fair? So basically repeat what we did today, bring yours up to date with what we did today, with the addition of actually processing a payment. All right.